François Barthomeuf. I'm a French consulting astrologer, and in this video I want to show you how to draw an effective birth chart. So I'm always amazed when I see students coming to me with almost unreadable birth charts. Why are they unreadable? Because, you know, as students, and we are all students in terms of astrology, we want to gather in a single birth chart all we have learned so far about astrology. We want to include the planets, but not only the planets, we want to include the midpoints, the asteroids and all the pet techniques that we have learned and adopted in the past. And this, in time, make the birth charts almost unreadable. So if you feel you have difficulties to interpret a birth chart, ask yourself why. And maybe the reason is that your birth chart, the birth chart that you are working on, are overcharged by information. And you have to remember that too much information kills the information. So my point in this video is to show you the importance of simplifying your birth chart. The birth chart is a tool for yourself, and it has to be simple to read. If not, then you have you create your own difficulties. So how to simplify a birth chart? So here on the board you have the representation of a birth chart, and the first thing you can notice is that the ascendant is not on the left, but here in the Capricorn. In the upper part of the chart. Why? Because I use the Aries sign on the left. So today there is a modern convention between astrologer and teacher to say that it's better to use the ascendant on the left side. So using a different ascendant on the left side is correct, because you know the ascendant represent the rising sign at the moment of your birth, so it is the east horizon, and it's correct to put the ascendant on the left. We can understand that, we can understand why. The problem is when you will go on in your studies, you will be confronted to the difficulty of making a comparison between two birth charts. We call that a synastry, or maybe to compare a solar return with a birth chart. And it is very, very, very difficult to make a comparison between two charts with different ascendants on the left. That is why I recommend you to use always Aries on the left. You will say, well, I'm not used to that. I've got my own habits. It's easier for me to do that. Well, it's a short-term advantage. In the long term, you will have difficulties. So my point here is to advise you to use the Aries on the left. The second benefit of that is that it will change the way you look into a birth chart. You know, we are all used to look into the birth charts in the same way, and this is not good. This is habits, and we don't want habits. We want to adapt constantly. So change this habit and try to put Aries on the left. It's a long-term benefit, and it will also expand your dexterity and your knowledge of the zodiac. Okay, so Aries on the left. Second things, I use only 10 planets. No asteroid, no midpoint, nothing else. 10 planets. And it's far enough to make a good interpretation. Believe me. So 10 planets only. So the Sun, the Moon, of course, Mercury, Venus, Mars, the personal planet, then Jupiter, Saturn, and after the generational planet, which are Uranus, Neptune and Pluto. And that's it. Nothing else. No asteroid, no midpoint. The other things that I use, there's only two other points that I use. Sorry. The first one is, these are karmic points, about karma, about, so the black moon, I use the mean black moon in the birth chart, because I think, from my experience, the mean black moon is more relevant in the birth chart. It's not the same in predictive astrology, when the corrected or the true black moon is also very relevant. But in the birth chart, I recommend you to use the mean black moon. Also, I put the nodal axis, so the north node opposed to the south node here. And I use also the mean north node and mean south node and north node. So 10 planets and 2 points, black moon and lunar nodes. That's it, nothing else. Okay, so go back a little bit. If you are used to use 10 more points, yeah, just go back a little bit and you will see that your birth chart will suddenly become simpler to interpret. And that's what we want. Okay? Okay, after that I use the aspects. I concentrate on 5 aspects, which are the major aspects. So the conjunction, for instance, here is a conjunction, okay? So there's nothing to represent on the conjunction. It's obvious there is 2 planets at the same position, in the same position, so that's a conjunction. That's it. Okay. The opposition here, the square. So you can see that I use different color. So I use red color to show the aspect of tension, like opposition and square, and I use blue or green for the harmonic or harmonious aspect, which are the sextile here and the trine. Okay, so 5 aspects, the 5 major aspects. As for the orbs, I use the conjunction, I take 10 degrees. For the opposition, I take 8 degrees. For the trine, I take 7 degrees. For the sextile, for the square, I use 6 degrees. And for the sextile, I use 3 degrees. So these orbs are the degrees on each part of the position of the planet, and it shows where the aspect is still valid. So 10, 8, 7, 6 and 3. For the conjunction and for the opposition, I can use sometimes 12 and 10, which is 2 more degrees on each side, when the sun and the moon are implied in the aspect. Okay? Because these are powerful points in the birth chart, and it is possible to use 12 and 10 degrees for conjunction and opposition. Well, that's it. So try that a little bit. Try to go back a little bit. Try to simplify the birth chart that you use. You have to remember that the birth charts are the tool of the astrologer, so it has to be adapted to you. We want to include more things in the birth charts. Why? Because we think that it would be better if we put more information in the birth chart, and that is wrong. That is completely wrong. You can do a very thorough and deep interpretation of a birth chart using only the 10 planets and only the 5 aspects between them. Okay, so I thank you very much for your attention. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If yes, don't hesitate to click on the little thumb and to subscribe to the channel. More videos are in preparation, and see you soon in